Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read, and I would definitely stay tuned if I were you. It's quite beautiful and very revealing as well. If you should like to have a session with me, all my information is below at twinflames3344.com and at gmail.com. Please hit subscribe if you'd like to get my notifications, and please like the video if you do like the content. I do appreciate it. And thank you all for all of your likes and shares and subscribes and your comments. I love staying in touch with you guys. I'm going to get right into the read. It is November 17, 2019. Oh, a reminder of my CD as well. It's Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames. And it's available on iTunes, CD Baby, Amazon, and Google Play. And it's under Evelyn Stainthorpe as well. The date today, November 17, 2019. The 17 is all about the star, which is healing, shining your light, and dreams come true, that dreams are real, and you guys know how to manifest them. The day adds up to the 40, which is a 4, and that's all about stability, building, growth, but the 4 is more of manifestation on a survival level, whereas 8 is more of the dreams coming true. But the 40 as a 4 is the Page of Cups. It's that very innocent, sweet, pure love. The Page of Cups and the star today, that star child, or the inner child of you coming out to shine its light. The part of the word from the numerology deck in my code line today was ASCENSION, again, the A-T-I-O-N, which has to do with action. Where do I have my definition here? It has to, well, the A-T-I-O-N comes from 8 and ion connection. There's definitely a food connection here. So there's a wound about food coming up here and overeating, but also it's about being. It has to do with action, but being is an action, just being. That's all you need to do is be the being that you are, the human being. So the day for November 17th today is Sunday. But we didn't have a whole lot of sun here today, but that was okay. The read here for the masculine was done at 12:38. I'm all caught up on my sleep because I came home on the red eye the night before last. So last night I got some really good sleep. It was important here that the time was 12:38, which is the hangman, and 38 is the Queen of Cups, who was very significant in the read today. The major arcana were abundance, lovers, reflection, and alchemy. Abundance is like the Empress. Lovers, of course, you know, which is right in the middle of the read today. Reflection is the Hermit, and alchemy is the Temperance card. We had 2 swords, 2 wands, 2 cups, and 1 pentacle, so it was very well distributed. And 1 pentacle being at Sunday, so most people don't work today. And then we had, the only court card was the Queen of Cups today. And it was very significant within the read as well. So the only court card was the Queen of Cups. Before the read, the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands both came up. So father and son could be an energy that's coming up today. It can be father and any child, really. Or just that passionate movement of the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands. The numbers in the code line for this read came up 888s today. We also had double 3s and less so double 4s and 5s. And the code line was all about relationship change. And like I said, some of the letters were covered on relationship change. So it came up to Asian ship and then H-A-N-G-E of change. So the C was covered. So that comes out as Han and G-E. So Han Solo comes up for the masculine all the time, and G-E is energy. So it has to do with Han Solo's energy and the Asian ship. So Asian has to do with the act of, the result of, or the condition of being. And it was very funny because the examples they gave were separation, starvation, and flirtation, which actually flirtation came up as the romance angel card with true love. So regarding the relationship change and the other numbers being, well, the code line was 53, which reduces to an 8. So those were the numbers from the code line and relationship change. 53 is the catapult. It's, you know, something suddenly coming in or out, but it's also the Knight of Swords and reduces to the number 8, which of course is the Strength card. So very quick communications, the knight in shining armor, the messenger of truth, and the 8 of the inner and outer strength, and the dance within your masculine and feminine, and relationship change, ationship change, the state of being, that ship, and the energy of the divine masculine of the Han. So the code here, the other numbers that came up were 33, which is the 7 of Wands, the sequence 3, 4, 5, which has to do with the 3rd D, 4th D, 5D. I'm just thinking if there's anything else I want to say about that sequence. But that 3, 4, 5 came up. It's very significant to me, the 3s and 4s. As you know, my business is 3344. My phone number is 4455. So it's very interesting because 44 and 55 just came up after that as well. So we had 33, 44, and 55. 44, and of course the double numbers are all power numbers. 44 is that 4 of Cups, the mastering, grounding, and integrating, and the 55 is the truth, Excalibur, the Ace of Swords. We also had, in a lesser sense, the 23, which is the King of Wands, 34, which is the 8 of Wands. They came up together, actually, with the Knight of Wands and the underlying energy there. 45, which is the 5 of Cups, the needing to let go of that third baton, to let go of the past and go on to the future. And then 58 is the 4 of Swords. So around relationship change, or ationship, Han's energy, we have here the Divine Feminine and their chakra system, and the Divine Feminine aims up or above to expand, to free themselves, to change, to allow the change, regarding the 3-way heartbreak, the separation, okay? And this was regarding the ationship and the Han's energy. Also, E-I-E-I-O was coming up, but it really wasn't that way. It was E-I-A-I-M as opposed to E-I-E-I-O. So instead of E-I and E-I, which would be like two feminines and their chakra system, it was about E-I-A-I, which is Adam, Eve, and Adam. And instead of O, of the human embodiment of source energy, it was M, the Mother Mary, the Empress Supreme I was just getting, and the abundance in that 3-way situation. So it can be not only the divine masculine, divine feminine, and the karmic energy, but also the mother's interference or the mother's blessing, right? The 3-way situation or the 3-way interference regarding the relationship and the ationship, the being ship, which can be ETs coming in as well, and then the Han solo, the Han's energy regarding the Asian, which is 8 and ion, the connection to food and eating, to nourishment, the food connection. And again, like I told you, the examples were separation, starvation, and flirtation. So this is referring back to our eating issues. And it stems from Latin or French, the Asian, the act of, the result of, the condition of being. And I was also getting the difference between the E-I-E-I-O and E-I-A-I-M is I-O as opposed to I am. Okay, that was very significant. What do you owe? You owe nothing. You just are. I am. So the men and the women were coming up here as far as the 3-way situations, 2 men and 1 woman, or 2 women and 1 man, and the different variations of this. But it was coming up as Eve and Adam, and the Mother Mary, the Empress or the abundance, in the 3-way situation regarding the relationship change or the ationship and Han's energy, the state of being, and his connection to the divine feminine. So also, like I said, E-I-E-I-O versus E-I-A-I-M, 2 women human, and Eve and Adam with the mother. Also then was coming up the ING came up. I don't know if that's significant for anyone. ING, which became capital 1 360. So that might be a message for somebody specifically. I did go online. And also pay attention to what I just told you about the coding, because a lot of that comes back up in the read very significantly. So online, the first thing that came up was insane luck. So if any of you guys are out at the store, you might want to buy 1 lottery ticket, because insane luck was the first thing that came up when I went online. And that was from first Yo-Kai or Yo-Kai, Watch 3 Crank A Kai Party. And that was from YouTube. But it started with insane luck. The second one was from images, shellcloud.com, and that was September 29th to 30th of 2017. Tishrei 10 and then 5778, but it had to do with Shabbat and Yom Kippur that year, which was 2017, September 29th to 30th. So what happened to you at that time, it may be significant. And then the number here came up as 201-254-9190. Another header came up as the moment distribution method, right? So being in the moment, being present. And it's MDM, moment distribution method. This came up from en.wikipedia.org and had to do with structural analysis for statically indeterminate beams and frames developed by Hardy Cross. So Hardy Boys and the Cross were coming up, which is kind of funny. And then published 1930 in ASCE Journal. Only accounts for flexural effects and ignores axial and shear effects. So however that comes to you, that's the way you should take it. Another heading was all 5 letter words with G in the middle, and G in my coding has to do with God, of course. And that was from bestwordlist.com, so all 5 letter words with G in the middle. Also behaviors, but spelled IOURS, came up from morewords.com saying it was a word. And then another one was top 5 stronger than you. Undertale animations from YouTube. And it was something that would make you laugh. It promised to make you laugh within 15 seconds. Okay. Also a noble tribute to Ayub Bachu from Pinex Production from YouTube. So it was an LRB artist. Also Rainbow came up. And that was also from morewords.com. And it said, it just had a definition of rainbow, a bow or arch exhibiting in concentric bands the several colors of the spectrum and formed in the part of the hemisphere opposite to the sun by the refraction and reflection of the sun's rays in drops of falling rain. So I like the way that definition came up. The last entry was Chord U, which is chordu.com, and it had to do with piano, ukulele, and guitar chords for any song, so that they give you variations of chords so that you could, you could play with it and do it on your own variation. Okay, so as we get into the read here, we start out with the Empress big time here, and the Empress and the Emperor were both upright in this read. We have the Empress here, and underlying energies here were the 8 of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the King of Wands. So a lot of fire here underneath the Empress upright. And you see there's 2 Empresses here side by side, and they're different energies, but both in very positive energies. This one's very much about abundance. Her arms are open wide, receiving, and this one's more about giving, like she's feeding you ice cream or sherbet or something there. And she could be full or she could be pregnant, right? But it's just about the abundance of the mother and what she can offer you. But one's like opening her arms to allow you in, and the other one is nourishing you. So it's very much the differences in those types of mothering energies here. So the code line was mainly about the 3 of Swords, having to do with the 3-way separation, heartbreak, and the lightning coming in, which will come up within the read here. And also this mother energy, but the read was all about the Queen of Cups, and these mothering energies around them, 2 different mothering energies, and that can represent also the mother and the mother-in-law. And then we have this major masculine energy coming up beneath that first Empress, which could be the masculine's family, with the masculine and the father and son energy coming up. The 8 of Wands today was reversed, so it's about not expressing your feelings, not sharing your energy, and this could definitely be between a father and son, if not a father and any child, and not communicating with each other, and their relationship with their mother, and how this may change within this read, and how this is significant to the masculine and the feminine coming together. So with the abundance, that Empress who's upright in major positive energy today, the Emperor, like I said, is also upright, but not as significant here as the Empress, okay? The Emperor didn't come up in the major cards, only in the minor cards. So the mother lode. After not expressing or sharing energy exchange, rushing in passionately or getting busy, but the King of Wands is reversed and tired. Energy related, like I said, to the Divine Feminine and food, and both of their connections to him. So the food that he actually puts in his body, as well as the food the feminine puts in her body, and her energetic connection apart from the food. Not walking away, doing the work with other energies around the masculine. The Emperor and Empress opening her heart to him. So on this Empress there, that first one in blue, the Emperor's actually on that card. And it's like the Empress opening their heart, but it could be a little suffocating to the Emperor here, because he's uncomfortable in that energy because it's too much. But that can be anyone. It could be a mother and mother-in-law, it could be the karmic, it could be the Divine Feminine. But there's two mothering energies. One is very all-encompassing, the other one more giving. Like, so even though someone opens their arms, it's in a suffocating way. It's coming up here anyway, where the Emperor's on her. So the masculine not walking away from this, right? He's doing the ascension work, but he's doing it amongst a lot of other difficult energies. So it's hard in that 3D way. He's not able to be by himself and process all of this. Around the Emperor and the Empress opening her heart to the Emperor, the sovereign defenseless to the energies and attacks, and too many people at once, possibly with bad news coming in, too much negative attention, feeling of failure, or just staying under the radar along with these intense energies coming in. So it's like the sovereign or the Divine Feminine is able to stay away from the energy, so she's more able to be in peaceful energies and not be uncomfortable, because she can do it on her own as opposed to being around a lot of other energies. The Emperor is uncomfortable around the Empress, but the Empress is opening up here, while the sovereign is not affected, staying under the radar. Things are slow for Libra energies reversed here, and Libra is very reversed in this read today, or injustice, divorce or court, or any kind of legal issues, taking forever to be over or to be free for the masculine to open up his own heart. And this was at 128, the Magician and the Two of Wands. So 129 is then the Magician and the Three of Wands, being present to the moment, also to ships coming in, if that's how it comes to you. But it's like it's taking forever for things to end, for the masculine to be free, for him to open his heart to the tail end of being strong. The lovers protected by Gabriel, coming up very much in this read, while recovering financially and physically in practical ways back into their abundance. The mother's love, the birthing process. And if you listened yesterday, you know that in my meditation before the read, I saw a pregnant woman. So it's very much coming into this read again, the birthing process and the rebirthing process. So here the energies were Libra reversed twice, Libra reversed, Aries upright, Leo upright, Gemini upright, Taurus upright twice here as well. Father and son issues or father and child issues, not expressing feelings to each other. The mother open, which is the O, the father closed, they don't express, mum's the word, the M. The child passionate and active, the father tired or feeling a failure in his father's eyes. So there could be 3 generations we're dealing with here. Whereas the masculine and his children, he's not expressing his feelings because that's the way he was brought up, but the same thing going on with him, that he's feeling a failure in his father's eyes. So this could literally be the Emperor being the father, the King of Wands being the masculine, and then the Knight of Wands being the masculine's child, whether it's masculine or feminine. The lovers recovering to the womb for rebirth by the green open area, more nurturing, more Mother Nature. Allow recoveries to occur naturally, physical and financial injuries that need to recover now. Okay, so the wounding, we're very much in the physical body right now for as far as woundings to clear. And now from this point on through the rest of this page, I was getting major connection as Gabriel was coming in here. So it was 137 as we start this. 1 is the Magician and 37 is the King of Cups, that unconditional love energy, and the Magician manifesting in a major way, allowing recoveries to occur naturally, physically and financially, and financial injuries that have occurred already. Gabriel is, I can't read the word I wrote. It looks like lining, but it's not. So Gabriel's, light is lining up, but Gabriel's lining up all the twins. And when I saw twins, when I wrote it down, it was coming up and wins, okay? So Gabriel's here lining up all the twins, the abandoned ones, like teacher with their class. Okay, children, all in line, single file. That group, that class, that family no longer resonates. It's time to return to the mothership for rebirthing. Take your time, no butting in line. There's room for all on board. Gabriel's divine orchestration. Gabriel is so pleased to be involved with this process and wanted to express this to you now, and Gabriel's coming in again now. It's very sweet energy. Guiding all back to Mother Mary, the Sophia energy, and it's funny here, Christo Sophia, my song, one of the songs I wrote, which I haven't put out yet, is called Christo Sophia. So one day in my read, I'd gotten, referencing to the Divine Feminine, the Christ E Sophia as opposed to the Christ O Sophia. And today they were bringing up the Christ M Sophia. And it's so funny because when I wrote down Christo Sophia, I wrote the M on top and the E below, and it's literally Mo, right? So Mo comes up in a lot of different ways, but I was literally on vacation sitting across doing cards for someone named Mo, and it was actually a girl, so it's pretty funny. So Mo is significant here as well. I'm getting Manny, Mo, and Jack, and of course the Three Stooges. But again, Gabriel's here guiding all back to Mother Mary, Sophia, for Christ or Christo Sophia, the Christ O Sophia, the M Sophia, and the E Sophia. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. No one is forced to come, but all are hand-picked by all. Or in other words, you were all picked to do this by not only yourself or certain masters or ETs or whoever. You were picked by the collective consciousness, the Christ consciousness. You were picked by all. Understand the great honor of this. The infinity call, the hero's gamos, which interprets to me as the hero's game. Okay, so again, no one is forced to come. This is coming from Gabriel, but all are hand-picked by all. Understand the great honor of this, the infinity call, the hero's gamos, the hero's game, starting at Eve and Adam, the apple tree and I went to write bush, but I went to write burnt bush, but it wrote his burst, so his bursted bubble. It's Eve's apple tree and Adam's burst, or Adam's burnt bush or tree. When Gabriel said to Adam and Eve, now play nicely, please, and Eve had apples on her side, so Adam got mad because he had a burnt tree. It wasn't fair, and said, I'll show her what I can manifest from just a seed. As Eve lay back to watch the show, and then both wounded and left out in the cold, and I'm still getting connection from Gabriel, finally having had enough of war games, they're ready to come back now to the hero's game. Back to mothership for reboot, reprogramming, a whole new show, still connecting, evergreen and magenta to keep warm. Mom is ready with blankets as you come in from the cold because it's dinner time. Time for your nourishment. It's making me want to cry. The energy is really good. Time for the main nourishment now, the feasting, the thanks and giving that comes before the holy days. One mother to welcome and another to feed, both apples and oranges, ice cream and sherbet, all for one and one for all. The King of Cups reversed meets the Knight of Swords reversed, emotionally detached versus verbal abuse or the silent treatment, being sneaky about coming clean instead of humbling self, saying things in an aggressive way to make sure the King of Cups reversed doesn't try to manipulate their words. So you know how you come in when you fear someone might manipulate their words because they're better at words than you are. This is someone coming in aggressively. It's like the Divine Feminine speaking her truth to make sure they hear you and to make sure they don't try to manipulate you or manipulate your words. So through this whole part, Gabriel was very much a part of this, and it continues. I turned the page, it's 158, which is it was 157 before I turned the page, going to 158, which has to do with the Magician and the Three of Swords, which was the main issue on the code line today, going to the 58, which is the Four of Swords, the rest, the meditation, the prayer, and the connection in the 5D. So again, saying things in an aggressive way to make sure the King of Cups reversed, this is the Knight of Swords reversed to the King of Cups reversed, doesn't try to manipulate their words, twist what they're saying, and coming clean about the Queen of Swords reversed, airing their dirty laundry, or to clear the air between them. The Knight of Swords reversed, defending themselves and the Queen of Swords reversed, to the King of Cups reversed, whether they like it or not, too bad. It's like the masculines pulling the Queen of Swords reversed in closer to trusting them again, reaching far and wide to extend a hoof, even though nothing to grip while they're flying in the air without an anchor, completely off the ground, all air and no brakes. Okay, so this is literally the masculine allowing himself to leave the ground, because he's been the very grounded or 3D energy here, standing up for the Divine Feminine to whoever needs, to be told, and the masculine's doing this in the honor of the Divine Feminine, in a move to allow her to trust him again. Okay, so he's trying to pull her in an energetic way by defending her honor to someone else. So very soon is the energy that comes up here, and this was 202 to 203, and the 202 is two high priestesses, or two people with psychic abilities, the masculine and the feminine, the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords, both reversed. Then there was energy between them. The Seven of Swords reversed was between the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords, but them coming forward, coming clean with that energy between them. Once they come clean, or the Knight of Swords comes clean on behalf of both of them to that King of Cups reversed, then the cards switch around, and that Seven of Swords is separate from them, and they come closer together, the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So again, this is the masculine taking a risk of leaving the ground, where they're safe. That's where their comfortable place is. All up in the air with no brakes at all. Very soon comes up for the masculine and the underlying energy. And honeymoon was beneath that. And I was called to break up honey and moon. The sweetness of the honey and the shadow of the moon. And so honeymoon, very soon. The sweetness and the shadow, very soon. In Nightshade, from the Nightmare Before Christmas. Which is what, guys? What's the Nightmare Before Christmas? Thanksgiving. I was getting major connect there. So Gabriel's very pleased with themselves about this, which I really loved what they were coming through with as well. So no more energy stealing or keeping or distracting one or keeping one down so that another can take from them. The narcissistic hierophant with muscles and gray beard, distant and a distant stare. It could be a bad old man. The devil made me do it, the Capricorn says about the hierophant. starting over in love at the gate, talking about the King of Pentacles reversed, trying to get to one that's exposed, but there's a pillar in the way of him, saving her as they reflect each other. Standing at the gate, reviewing the past, like Ebenezer Scrooge with the Christmas past, present, and future with their guides. The greedy or ungrounded savior, the devil's son, and the gift that is the present moment, revealing all, like rock, paper, scissors, but scissors, magnet, coin, on stone, opening the portal, the point of no return to the 3D, and they can't go back to that, and marking their territory, peeing on a plant, deactivating a bomb or spy camera, using liquid courage to neutralize everything. So again, it's referencing his 3D life, his ability to control things, but also his addictions because of those things in his life. So moderation comes up as the underlying energy, which is number 14, the Temperance card. And then nature was beneath that, all green, and 74 being the, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of Pentacles. Yeah. So the 6 of Pentacles is nature, and that has to do with balanced sharing in a relationship, right? So all green was coming up with this underlying energy, the heart chakra. What keeps your heart beating? Good news coming in to end the pain. The lovers and self-love, new love. The sovereign and the Knight of Pentacles, loyal servant of another world, hanging by one foot or planning to visit the other side of the world. And this was literally coming up as the sovereign, divine feminine, and the Knight of Pentacles as the masculine. Happy with what they have, each of them in each moment, enjoying home and serving the world in the never-ending story. So the world never goes upright because they're in another world, which never ends. The bunny and spirits connecting. Bunny and 3 ladybugs, 4 flowering worms, silky smooth, an inch at a time, 2 butterflies free to fly whenever they please. The red root and the blue deep throat to purple haze, third eyes to violet crown, and getting lighter and whiter as the vibration rises, as the downloads come in, drowning out the noise, the white noise, which happens to be the 8th novel of Don DeHilo or Don DeLeo, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, by Viking Press. That was 1985. The white noise masks unwanted noise, right? So it's mixed noises or sound waves of wide frequency range as a constant background noise to kind of blur out everything else. The higher frequency sound replaces the 3D noise. The mother vacuums the whole world in for recall and passes it to the next mother for nourishment prior to the Queen of Swords reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed in moderation, right? So they need to moderate. They need to come together to moderate, to bring to the center point. And this was at 233, the High Priestess and the Christ vibration, or that 7 of Wands, standing up for yourself without being defensive or reacting, going to the 234 of the High Priestess and the 8 of Wands, the expressing of feelings and energy back and forth in a very quick and happy vibration. So air and earth, with the Queen of Swords reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed, were coming together here. The woman of sky and the man of the earth, lifting and grounding simultaneously in simultaneous broadcast. So saying, and things happening simultaneously were coming up in the reads this week. So it's bringing up that idea again, where the good and the bad, that's the alchemy. You know, alchemy is changing, nickel into gold. Well, it's also changing lemons into lemonade, right? It's bringing the extreme polarizations of bad and good and bringing them to the middle, the alchemization of bad and good to make it something good for both. Because the polarization of good and bad is not good. So this is what this was bringing together. The Queen of Swords reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed, right? So Queen of Swords in that lower polarization, the King of Pentacles in that higher polarization of greed, right, where he gets everything he wants, he's excited all the time, right? they're both out of balance. So it's about alchemizing those energies simultaneously, grounding, lifting and grounding at the same time to bring it to the center, to the 0 point, to the vacuum, to the vortex, which is the calm before the storm. It's the impetus of propulsion, okay? It's like the Mercury retrograde, then going direct on the 20th. It's that backpedaling in order to create that momentum forward. It's all the same. So we turn the page, it's 2, 3, 4, shut the door. The recent energies have to do with the 8 of Swords, which is upright, that anxiety, the prison, trapped, your hands tied, and surrender, though, to negative self-talk and or no messages at all, to start over in love and not settle for that prison and death until death do us part. That death, that transition, the transformation to allow it to happen when you're in a prison and you're held down or your hands tied or you're tied up, you know, you're forced to surrender. When you're so tired that you can't do it anymore, you're forced to surrender. So that's the whole point of why the feminines were all injured going into their dark night, and the same thing for the masculine as he falls. The only way to do that is to tire you out so much or injure you so that you have to surrender. The dark night, traversing that 4D bridge, stepping over the dead murkiness to receive their third energy, their new passion and creative growth from or out of suffering and silence, purging and pain, all which is part of the creative process of twins. The foundation here is the 3 of Wands, the gift of the present moment, those 3 flames, you know, adding the third energy to propel you onto the 4th. You always have to have the odd to throw you off balance, like the new information coming in throws you off balance, and then you need to ground and integrate to come back to the even or the balance again. It's a constant cycle. The ending of the family and emotional cycle of unhappiness of the ball and chain, waving goodbye and then waving hello to new love being offered by Source. Love yourself. The Queen of Cups weighing in on the end of the emotional cycle, offering the truth shyly to the Knight of Cups, as the Knight of Cups offers love in the other direction to all. They don't need to be face to face, the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. They don't need to be face to face to know the truth that's between them, because we literally have Excalibur between them with their backs facing each other. The Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups with Excalibur between them, coming from the divine feminine to the divine masculine with his open crown. What God has brought together, let no man put asunder. The love that exists in every moment, even when the truth is what separates you, the truth of the crown wide open, that the Knight of Cups doesn't need to wear a helmet to protect himself, just turn around. All right, so that was coming up, every now and then I get a little, all right, so that song's coming up. So it's calling the masculine and the feminine. Just turn around, both of you, and look. The divine feminine has always offered you your truth. She wasn't trying to hurt you, divine masculine. The center energy here is the lovers, upright in spirit, connecting with me still. The twins are active with synchronicities and opportunities all around them. The divine orchestration of co-creation. Healing, shining their light, bright as the sun, as dreams come true, and as lovers come together, the Queen of Pentacles and the humbled man. The challenge being the 3 of Swords, as lightning strikes, that 53-8, which is that catapult, the Knight of Swords on the code line. The catapult, as well as the 5 and the 8, greased lightning, and the 888s that came up. 8 times 3 is 24, the end of karma, that Queen of Wands energy, that third party that's needed to expand you to 4. The 888s, the 2 balanced twins dancing within their own masculine and feminine side by side, and the third 8, the 2 balanced twins dancing to infinity and beyond. Toy Story at 7 and 11, which is a 2, the 11 2. Buzz Lightyear and Woody, Heroes Gamos, hanging out the Queen of Cups, frustrated or uninspired, or with child, that is. The lover's home and or in union simultaneously. So the numbers of 7 and 11 were coming up, that the 11 reduces to 2, because it's not just about the union numbers of 711 and 117, but actually the 11, which is 2, so 7 and 2 as well. So again, the two balanced twins dancing to infinity and beyond, Toy Story at 7 and 11, Buzz Lightyear and Woody, here as Gamos hanging out, the Queen of Cups frustrated or uninspired, or the Queen of Cups with a child, that is. Lovers home and in union simultaneously. All right, so even if you're not physically together, you know you're always in union. Recovering, both of them, to self-commitment. The Taurus energy, and only this, instead of the boys club with the 2 Ys, it's only 1 Y. The path of opportunity, the perpetual student of the gold coin. Coin is another spelling of Kohan, which is another spelling for co-Hans, the co-Han Solos, or the co-pilots. The teacher and the student, the humbling of self to be student again, to one you thought as lesser than. So it's the masculine who may have felt lesser of the divine feminine than him before, now must humble himself to become her student. But again, that's always a perpetual process of both being the teacher and the student. The dropping of the burdens, the responsibilities, and the slave labor, the confessions of the King of Swords reversed, his false self, and negative talk, whether it was within or without about the divine feminine, which is still himself. Vulnerable and rejected and spoiled all at the same time, simultaneous broadcast again, the whitewash, the 3D noise to drown out the sound of silence. The Page of Cups reversed and the Page of Wands reversed came up side by side in 2 places in this read. Not in reunion, the King of Swords rejecting burdens, vulnerabilities, and no return to a marriage or establishment, the old way of being. So this is about 2 children who are mad at their dad, or it can be the inner children of the masculine, and I'm losing my voice, of the masculine and the karmic energy as their inner children, but also can come forward as the masculine and the feminine as their inner children. As we turn the point. Okay, so I'm losing my voice that whole time talking about the inner children because they're all reversed today. The 3 o'clock we come up upon here. The 3 of the Empress, which is the mother, the abundance card, which is so much of the energy today. The earth, the Gaia, nature, all the things that are abundance and giving, that open to allow, but also give to nourish you. The 3 with 2 zeros behind it of 3 o'clock, all of that source energy backing the Empress up. The divine masculine free to float through to the death and transformation, the rebirthing process into co-creation. Big love through work, present to the prisoner or prison anxiety of not sharing, the imbalance, the inequity, the debt, the feeling scammed or actually have been scammed, and the defenselessness to the energies and attacks. The hermit over-isolating, but still able to shed light on it, to come out of the dark shadows of bleeding out. Now is the hermit reversed in this slowdown of the retrograde and the holidays coming in, insecure without the tools and feeling manipulative, not expressing their feelings and keeping energy to themselves, regarding the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed, both refusing to change. And this can reference anyone around the masculine. It could be 2 people at work. It could be his sisters. It could be his wife and their sister. It can be their children. It can be anything. It can be the feminine as well. But both 2 women, both reversed, the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed, both refusing to change, taking forever to transform, to allow the transformation process and complete their cycle. So, of course, this can be children of the divine masculine who don't want things to change. Pisces and Scorpio, Libra, Virgo, Gemini, and Aries, and then suddenly an event, an eruption, epiphany between the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the 9 of Wands reversed, as well as those 2 pages, the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands, both reversed, parents and children or their inner children, all present to the lovers coming out of isolation, challenged by the heartbreak and lightning of Archangel Michael. and the divine masculine who's been using the white noise to drown out the thunder or archangel Metatron, who's been guiding the masculines. Now all are coming out of mental asylum to heal and forgive and recover abandonment, exile, the coldness of the third party, the gossip, the addictions, the too much partying or the antisocial behavior, and unable to find peace amongst any of them. Choosing a new path, one on a quest for home and or union, no longer keeping quiet, no longer willing to be silenced, to close the gap and remove any distance between you, the divine masculine and divine feminine, to be home in transformation, not stuck traveling long distances, in breaking of the bull chains, the bulls and their chains, losing tools or just insecure with their secret out, and hanging in limbo trying to see new perspectives. The present rescue efforts to release the prisoner twin on the masculine's behalf. Soon is the Queen of Cups stuck, being strong in the injustice, taming their inner beast, unhappy to be alone without their twin as the third party, and no joy in it, no coming together, but the divine feminine knowing about being satisfied with every present situation and being satisfied with the moment of only the 5D connection. The Cancer, Leo, Libra energies here. Done overworking, now that they're aligned with their desires, the current situation no longer working for him, with the Page of Cups reversed and that Page of Wands reversed coming up again side by side, bleeding out, perpetually fighting, whether that's him and his kids or him and his partner. With the Page of Cups reversed, so it's either with the kids, the Page of Cups reversed and the Page of Wands reversed, bleeding out and perpetually fighting with them, or with the Page of Cups reversed, just a spoiled partner or his own inner child. The injustice of them not working, or a spoiled brat or child always complaining of pain or injustice, like someone who just is never happy, right? They always find the negativity in it. It's now fair, or for them it's never fair, but that's their perspective. Or two kids who do all the work and the mother is the lady of luxury, and the two kids are pissed about that. The divine masculine is the 5 of Cups. That's how he's seeing himself, being in the grieving process of loss, regret, guilt, or shame, letting go to repair, fix, amend, or mend things as the humble servant, offering assistance, a small proposal, to undo all the past, holding back the big coin from the Empress and the King of Pentacles reversed, and their family, the 10 of Pentacles reversed, in debt, or the Empress is doing the holding back of money from all of them, the King of Pentacles and the family. The King of Pentacles reversed, and the debt with the 10 of Pentacles reversed, or literally could be scammers amongst them. The divine masculine taking what little he has left to still offer help to the King of Pentacles reversed, while the Empress has a lot but refuses to give it. So this is where I'm seeing a change in the relationship of the masculine with his mother and father. Okay? So now him seeing, whereas before he may have defended his mother and not supporting the father because he always does something wrong, he was a cheater or whatever it was. Now the masculine understanding the smothering of the mother in his own relationship and identifying with his father's side for once. Not that he's saying he's a perfect person, but he's now actually understanding his father's position, his father's side for once, or learning to give to himself and not relying on anyone else, the masculine. Around him, or how he is seen, is the alchemy or alchemization of deception of the Queen of Wands reversed and the sealed divine feminine reversed in another world, fusing the opposites into moderation, polarized to 0 point, making lemonade out of lemons, or maybe apples, and apple crisp that's been a bit overdone, for Adam and Eve to be as one again. The masculine needs to clear blocks of the 8 of Pentacles. There's Aries and Virgo energy here. Working with crystal energy, he needs to clear blocks around that. That's not how other people think he should be, right? Working with crystal energy and coming out about it. Free and clear from the need to defend himself to anybody. If the kids don't like it, Too bad. Changing careers for the Divine Masculine to be happy, but the family's mad because it may be less money for them. Relationship change comes up, but even more so for the masculine today was perseverance and domestic harmony, which has to do with his own domestic harmony, his heart, loving himself first. New love, self-love, and dropping a load, coming out and confessing, home and union connected in 5D and in pain, not sleeping and rising above, back pain, painful ending, or betrayal, to release the prisoner from the pain cycle, which all have to do with thoughts. Coming out about union with twin and or imprisoned by house and kids, in debt, inequity of relationship, and defenseless to over-isolation of the Virgo coming out now. Sagittarius, Aquarius, and Virgo coming up here, starting over in love from the stars, breaking patterns of indecision and looking back, or breaking patterns of living in the past. The need to be player and or rescue everyone, be the savior of the savior-victim template. Now home, starting over. Recovering in order to connect, angels in their knowing, one step at a time, and keeping to themselves for balance. All in white, no noise required in this connection. The Empress and another Empress, present very soon, grieving the loss, regret to alchemize in prison of lovers challenged by separation and heartbreak. The Queen of Cups overworking or not working and coming out of the house or about their union. The Empress or abundance of prisoner and or anxieties of the open heart or the suffocating, incomplete. Present to lovers coming out and challenged by the heartbreak and separation and grieving of the Queen of Cups home, alchemizing, aligning with desires to stop overworking and just finally come home. Taurus, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius came up there. The home or union or coming out about it to start over, recover, and bond, the masculine and feminine, as angels in their knowing. Be natural, flirt in moderation, for true love at home and union, the holy day, the nightmare before Christmas, which is the day of thanks and giving. And that was at 3:50, which is the Empress and the Ten of Cups, right? When the mother welcomes and nourishes the whole happy family. It's a day of wounds and clearing, Thanksgiving. So I thought that was a very special read. I did want to pull a card for you from my Kipper deck. I'd love to hear your comments on that. Gabriel was coming through very strong today, and I don't normally connect with Gabriel a lot. So it was very powerful and beautiful today. All right, so from my Kipper deck, just some last energy for everyone watching for the best and highest good of all is concerned. This November 17, 2019. So we have a lot of 1s and 7s there. Okay, there you go. You can't make this up. The Empress and Thanksgiving, waiting for everyone to come over. There's another guy here too who's a little concerned about it, right? Because that's all the wound clearing they have to deal with on Thanksgiving. You know, the guy's like, do we have to? And there we go. Like, you cannot make this up, all right? What was I just talking about? The masculine dealing with the change in relationship between the mother and the father, okay? Dealing with father-son issues, and the mother and Thanksgiving, and maybe being a little too smothering. And maybe that was the issue between the parents in the first place, okay? So very cool that that came up. I'm going to pull you from my Good Tarot as well, see what comes up for you guys. It was just 5400, which is the message. 54 is the Page of Swords. The message or the news, a child who likes to talk. Excited that Thanksgiving's coming up with the whole family. You know, it's a natural day of transmutation when everyone comes together to do some wound clearing. The nightmare before Christmas. I love how they brought all that up. It's so perfect. And it's not a religious holiday, right? It's Thanksgiving, where all families come together in the U.S. anyway. All right. All right, so this November 17, the Star and the Page of Cups today. For the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? And that just dropped right out. And that, so cool. Let's see what else is coming out here. There's a bunch of cards coming out, actually. All right, I have to put them down for a second. So the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Earth reversed, which is like the Seven of Pentacles reversed. I'll show you that card up, right? Okay. Let me move this light a little bit so it's not reflecting on that. I'll show you the cards too. All right, so the Seven of Earth, which is like, you know, reaping your rewards. You're not ready to retire. You don't have a ton of money, but you're able to take a break, maybe retire if you budget. So that's that energy, but it came up reversed for you guys, which is about implementing a new plan, deciding how you want to use that money. Do you want to reinvest it? Do you want to go back to work? Do you want to stay home and budget and just relax? But it's about strategizing or implementing a new plan on how to go forward. That's the underlying energy. So what now? So what do I see first that comes out of the deck? Well, two cards came out, but this one was showing after I just talked about Adam and Eve and the apple tree. And there's a big heart in the apple. Look at that. And it's number 15, the devil, right? Temptation. And behind it came up the Empress reversed because of the smotheringness, okay? Had into it Adam and Eve, giving too much, not allowing them to give, not allowing themselves to receive, okay? Having to do with Adam and Eve and the apple tree and the leaving and the coming back together now. Okay, because it's really not about the Emperor and the Empress, right? Because the Emperor and the Empress are really about control. And being in union as a twin is not about being in control. It's about quite the opposite, about letting go of control. All right, so then these other cards came up. They came up like this. So these were coming out first, and then these two. So these two, and you see that the colors are very much the same. We have the Messenger of Water and the Seven of Water. So there's another seven. And the messengers are like the knights here. So the Seven of Water has to do with the, you know, all the, it can be confusion, but it's about all the choices and options and synchronicities that you see. And see here in this deck, it's very much about the synchronicities that we see are real. The dreams are real, right? Because everyone says, oh, get real. You're out of your mind. You know, you're seeing illusions. But we know they're real, okay? Because we're in a different realm. But it came up with the Knight of Water, or the Knight of Cups, but reversed, which is someone refusing to give or receive love, not allowing themselves to receive. Okay, they have all these options, they have all these activities, they have all this love around them, but why would they try to control the giving and receiving of love when around all of this? They're afraid they'll be confused and they'll get uncomfortable. There again is that the seahorse. This is so much like the Divine Masculine humbling himself. Remember I told you the Sovereign and the Knight of Cups comes up. But also the read was about, you know, the masculine and his sadness, humbling himself to the Divine Feminine, but this is reversed. So it's the masculine, you know, not ready to quite do that. Not ready to be that open, to be that student again, because they have to humble themselves. It's not easy for them with their pride and their ego, okay? So it's about getting ready to let go of some of their emotional attachments of the Seven of Water in order to humble themselves, because they don't need all this stuff. They just need to give and receive love and be love, being love, okay? So the third set of cards that came up here were these two, which is the Star, which is today. But again, the Star came up reversed, and the Six of Fire, both reversed. I'm going to show them to you upright so you can get the energies of them. But again, the Star is the 17. And the Six of Fire is about the journeyman, the good news coming in, right? The ship coming in. And the Star here, you know, she's kind of hippie-ish, actually. I'm getting A Star is Born from the movie. But it's very a hippie-ish energy that she's just the star that she is. She's not trying to impress anyone. She's just being herself. And that's why she gets so much attention. With the Six of Fire and good news coming in all the time. But that's what we're aiming towards. But right now, there's still a little bit of depression there or loss of hope. With the Six of Fire reversed is the Six of Wands reversed is someone who needs attention or isn't getting attention or is getting negative attention or is trying to hide themselves under the radar. You can't hide your light because then it prevents your star from shining. It prevents you from getting all the good that comes in. You can't hide under a bushel, which is coming up about the burning bush and the apple tree between masculine and feminine, and the Adam and Eve coming back together again after their initial fight. That Adam was mad and he says, I'll show you how to grow a seed. And so he learned to become a master manifestor and a controller. And now he has to undo all that. Right? He can't be under the radar and pretend like none of that happened. He has to come out and love all of himself. To be the star that he is. To be the good news. And alchemize the bad and the good. So I love how the cards really came out, emphasizing the messages that came through in the reading. All right, so before I forget, I'm going to show you the cards because I will forget. As it was just 10111. 10111. So there's your empresses there. And I have to show you the foundation here because there's a lot of beautiful cards under there, okay? That's the Three of Flame at present with the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups with the ending of the family cycle, all right? That's very much about the twins. And accepting the devil or the shadow side of yourself. So the recent past is that Eight of Swords or the prison energy. And here's the other underlying energies. The central energy is the Lovers, that rainbow. The challenge being the Three of Orbs or Swords. The crowning position is the Hermit, which was reversed in this read. And then scanning across the bridge there, coming on to that Queen of Cups, the Sage of Chalices. You see her peeking through there, right there. The masculine sees himself as the Five of Chalices or the Five of Cups, grieving, okay? Loss, regret, guilt, shame, whatever it is, needing to let go of the past, the third baton, to either finish the race or start over again, and then alchemize. Alchemy is around him, that is upright. And then the blocks he needs to clear has to do with crystal work, with the Eight of Crystals or Pentacles, and then we end up at the Union card. It is the Four of Wands or Four of Flames upright. With the Four of Cups above that, that's the grounding, mastering, integrating, but it is reversed, so it's done. And then we have the Five of Pentacles above that, which is also reversed, done, recovering from abandonment, from exile, from isolation, from the cold. And we end up on the Two of Cups, which is upright, with the two of you as the angel and the Two of Swords in your knowing, and both in white, you notice that. Being human and angelic as two. Moderation, nature, lotus, it's all green and blue. The heart and the throat to the third eye. Okay? All right. It was just 10313. So very much about the Empress and the Magician. And rise and be love, guys.